3, 2, 1. In the last episode, we talked about the trinity of collaboration: the contract, the quick start, and the comments. You've already seen how contract.md defines the laws of the system, and how contract-style comments act as guardrails inside the code. Today we're building the map, QUICKSTART.md. This file is the empirical interface of your project. It doesn't describe your hopes, it describes what is actually true right now about how the system runs. Before anyone reads QUICKSTART.md, there is a strict reading order. First, contract.md, which defines the invariants. Then YY.md, which explains the reasoning and relationships. Only after that do we arrive here at QUICKSTART.md, where we describe how to operate the system in the present tense. Later, we'll add future.md to capture where the system is going. To make this concrete, imagine a simple repository called My Agentic app. Inside it, we have contract.md, why.md, quickstart.md, a source directory, a test directory, and a scripts directory. Our goal in quickstart.md is not to document everything. Our goal is to document the minimum set of truths that an AI agent or a new contributor must know to safely operate the system. We begin with the system map. This is a small table that lists the key components of the project, where they live, and what role they play. For our example app, the source directory contains the main application code. The test directory contains the automated tests that must pass before changes are trusted. The scripts directory contains helper scripts for setup and maintenance. Contract.md defines the non-negotiable rules. Y.md explains how the pieces fit together. This system map is the first thing an agent sees. It answers the question, what are the important pieces, and where are they? No guessing. No hunting. No hallucinating paths that don't exist. Next, QUICKSTART.md defines the operational commands. These are the exact commands a user or an agent should run to work with the system. For our example, we might define 3 categories: setup, development, and verification. Setup might say, run the bootstrap script to install dependencies and prepare the environment. Development might say, run the development server, or run the build command to produce a production build. Verification might say, run the test suite and run the health check script to confirm the system is behaving as intended. The key is that these commands are not aspirational. They are tested, current, and treated as part of the contract. If a command changes, QUICKSTART.md must change. If a file moves, QUICKSTART.md must move with it. This file is the present tense truth of the system. Finally, QUICKSTART.md explains how these commands relate back to the contract. For example, it might say, before running any commands, ensure you have read contract.md and y.md. The tests and health checks enforce the invariants defined there. If a test fails, assume a contract has been violated. This is where the trinity comes together. Contract.md defines what must never change. Y.md explains why those constraints exist. QUICKSTART.md shows how to operate within those constraints today. And later, future.md will describe how the system is expected to evolve, so agents don't blindly optimize against a temporary state. When an AI agent opens this repository, it doesn't have to guess. It reads the contract to learn the laws. It reads y.md to understand the intent. Then it reads quickstart.md to learn exactly how to build, run, and verify the system. The system map tells it where to look. The commands tell it what to do. The verification steps tell it how to know if it succeeded. In your own projects, treat QUICKSTART.md as the operational source of truth. Keep it small, precise, and ruthlessly up to date. If a human or an agent can follow it from top to bottom and end up with a running, verified system, you've done it right. In a future episode, we'll go deeper into y.md, the file that captures the reasoning behind your architecture, and then future.md, where you give agents a safe, explicit view of what's coming next. For now, your job is simple. Write the map that reflects the reality of your system today and keep it honest.